It's an unusual name, AUKUS, but it's a powerful entity.
U.S. President Joe Biden, flanked by the leaders of Australia and the United Kingdom, hailed an agreement to provide Australia with nuclear-powered attack submarines in a major push to stunt Chinese ambitions in the Indo-Pacific.
AUKUS has one overriding objective: to enhance the stability of the Indo-Pacific amid rapidly shifting global dynamics.
At a U.S. naval base in San Diego, Biden on Monday laid out the so-called AUKUS plan.
And with the support and approval of Congress, beginning in the early 2030s, the United States will sell 3 Virginia-class submarines to Australia, with the potential to sell up to 2 more if needed, jump-starting their undersea capability a decade earlier than many predicted.
The statement from the leaders said the multi-stage project would culminate with British and Australian production and operation of a trilaterally developed vessel based on Britain's next-generation design that would be built in the UK and Australia and include cutting-edge U.S. technologies. An Australian defense official said the project would cost the country $245 billion by 2055. UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak.
This is a powerful partnership. For the first time ever, it will mean 3 fleets of submarines working together across both the Atlantic and Pacific, keeping our oceans free, open, and prosperous for decades to come.
China, which has been building islands and airstrips and expanding its military presence in the South China Sea, has condemned AUKUS as an illegal act of nuclear proliferation.
These boats will not have any nuclear weapons of any kind on them.
Some significant questions remain about the pact. The U.S. has strict curbs on the extensive technology sharing needed for the project. And it's not yet clear just how long it will take for Washington to deliver the submarines.
So today, as we stand at the inflection point in history where the hard work of enhancing deterrence and promoting stability is going to affect the prospect of peace for decades to come, the United States can ask for no better partners in the Indo-Pacific, where so much of our shared future will be written, is making a port call in Perth as we speak. And later this decade, simply stated, we're putting ourselves in the strongest possible position to navigate the challenges of today and tomorrow, together. So I thank you again, Prime Minister Albanese, Prime Minister Sunak, and the United States could not ask for 2 better friends or partners to stand with. One of the vessels you see behind me is a Virginia-class nuclear-powered submarine, USS Missouri. Our unprecedented trilateral cooperation, I believe, is testament to the strength of the long-standing ties that unite us, and to our shared commitment of ensuring the Indo-Pacific remains free and open. They feature cutting-edge propulsion technology, provide unmatched stealth and maneuverability. And I want to be clear to everyone from the outset, right off the bat, so there's no confusion or misunderstanding on this critical point. These subs are powered, not nuclear-armed subs. They're nuclear-powered, not nuclear-armed. Australia is a proud non-nuclear weapon state and is committed to stay that way. These boats will not have any nuclear weapons of any kind on them.
Well, President Biden, the AUKUS agreement we confirm here in San Diego represents the biggest single investment in Australia's defence capability in all of our history, strengthening Australia's national security and stability in our region, and delivering a superior defence capability into the future. We are bound, above all, by our belief in a world where the sovereignty of every nation is respected and the inherent dignity of every individual is upheld, where peace, stability and security ensure greater prosperity and a greater measure of fairness for all, and where all countries are able to act in their sovereign interests, free from coercion. Australia's proud record of leadership in the international nuclear non-proliferation regime. Much.
In the last 18 months, the challenges we face have only grown. Russia's illegal invasion of Ukraine, China's growing assertiveness, the destabilizing behavior of Iran and North Korea, all threaten to create a world defined by danger, disorder, and division. Faced with this new reality, it is more important than ever that we strengthen the resilience of our own countries. That's why the UK is today announcing a significant uplift in our defence budget. We're providing an extra £5 billion over the next 2 years, immediately increasing our defence budget to around 2.25% of GDP. This will allow us to replenish our war stocks and modernise our nuclear enterprise, delivering AUKUS and strengthening our deterrent.
3 countries have been part of a shared tradition of service in the cause of peace.
Well, we've had, we've offered a briefing. I've not participated in a briefing with China.
Did they respond? Did they reject the briefing?
I'm not aware of that response. There has been a huge diplomatic effort which has underpinned the announcement today, and that's been going on for months, but it's particularly been going on over the last week. Between myself, the Minister for the Pacific in this context, the Foreign Minister, and indeed the Prime Minister. We've made more than 60 calls to regional and world leaders within the Pacific, within ASEAN, within our Five Eyes partners. And I'll let those countries speak for themselves, but I am very grateful for the response that we have received. We watch the global rules-based order being placed under enormous pressure in Eastern Europe, but also in the Indo-Pacific. And we are witnessing the biggest conventional military build-up that we have seen since the end of the Second World War. And it's happening within our region. And it is not Australia which is doing that. And we need to respond to this. A failure to do so would see us be condemned by history. We want to be completely transparent with our neighbours and with the world about what we're doing and why we're doing it. You know, what our strategic intent is. You know, our concern about other military build-ups is that they happen in a manner which is opaque and where neighbours are left uneasy as to why it is occurring. That is why we have gone to such an effort to make clear exactly why we are taking the steps that we're taking.
Prime Minister, welcome to San Diego, and through both war and peace we've been together in every endeavor we've had. And I think that it's going to be a game changer in my view. And I think that coupled with the Quad, which we're both part of, including Japan and India, that we have an ability to expand the maritime domain of democracies and some peace, stability, and some security. I think that's important. Thank you, and I look forward to, remember you invited me down to Australia. I'm coming.
Indeed.
I'm coming. No way out for you, but thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President. We look forward to welcoming you down in Australia for the Quad meeting in May. I'm sure it will be a very successful visit. America, we look to America in our time of need. Never since then. We have stood side by side, and today I think is very important, very significant that you have agreed for just the second time in history to share this technology. And I think it will make a difference in advancing security and stability in the region.